All right, new today, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is speaking out about the impeachment inquiry into President Donald J. Trump. In a fiery new interview, Pompeo was pressed for answers and at times grew defensive.
In mid-February, you were in Warsaw, and so was Rudy Giuliani. During your time there, did you meet with Giuliani?
You know, I don't talk about who I meet with. I went to Warsaw for a particular purpose. It was an important mission. We brought together people all across the world to take down the world's largest state sponsor of terror, the Islamic Republic of Iran. That's what I worked on that mission.
So you're not going to say whether you met with him?
So when I was in Warsaw, I had a singular focus. My focus was singularly on the work that we have done, effective work, to recover from what the Obama administration has done, which was to underwrite the world's largest state sponsor of terror. We've stopped that, and we're making real progress.
It sounds like you're not going to say.
When I was in Warsaw, we were working diligently to accomplish the mission to take down the terror regime that's inside the Islamic Republic of Iran. That's what I worked on. It was the only thing that I engaged in while I was there.
Okay. Text messages show that diplomats under your authority told the Ukrainians that a good relationship with President Trump was only possible if they investigated his political opponent and theories about what happened in 2016. Were you aware that this was happening?
You know, again, you've got your facts wrong. Sounds like you're working, at least in part, for the Democratic National Committee when you phrase a predicate of a question in that way. It's unfortunate. It does a real disservice to the employees and the team at the United States Department of State. Our team was incredibly focused. We wanted a good relationship with Ukraine. We wanted it before the election when Poroshenko was in charge, and we want it now with Mr. Zelensky in charge. We have an important set of foreign policy interests in Ukraine. The threat from Russia is real, and this administration, unlike the previous one, has taken those responsibilities very seriously. Part of that, an incredibly important part of that, is making sure that corruption is weeded out at every level inside of Ukraine. And our team, for the entire time I've been the Secretary of State, has been working on that project.
All right, that interview with the Secretary of State and the reporter Nancy Ammons with our affiliate WSMV in Nashville. So joining me right now to discuss is David Rode, executive editor for the New Yorker website and CNN Global Affairs analyst. David, good to see you. So your reaction to the Secretary of State and how he handled these questions, you know, at the start, really talking about the U.S. troop pullout. He said this administration has done a lot to take down the caliphate, justifying what's happening now.
Look, I want to be respectful to the Secretary of State, but he frankly has his facts wrong. The president abandoned the Kurds. That just happened. The president ordered American troops to pull back and allow Turkey to attack. And then we had the former ambassador to Ukraine testify yesterday that the president removed her from her post based on, you know, false allegations. So Mike Pompeo is protecting the president. He's not protecting the employees of the State Department. In
your view, is this kind of insight as to how he would answer questions if he is to testify?
It is, and
before any number of the House committees?
Correct. Yes, he would sort of talk about Iran and change the subject and avoid the president's personal mistakes. And the president has made an enormous mistake in Syria by abandoning the Kurds.
And then, of course, he seemed very uncomfortable, right, when being asked about whether he had interaction with Rudy Giuliani in Warsaw, Poland. And, he says he does acknowledge, yes, he was in Warsaw. The question was, did you meet with Giuliani? He says, I don't talk about who I met with. Not answering the question sometimes says as much, if not more. When you do answer a question, how do you interpret what just happened there?
Again, he's very defensive. Let's look at the facts. Just yesterday, 2 Ukrainian Americans that were working on this unofficial foreign policy with Rudy Giuliani were arrested for, violating federal campaign finance laws. That they were undermining the work of the State Department, of the diplomats Pompeo is supposed to be representing. So again, he is protecting the president, protecting Giuliani, and there's just enormous questions about what went on and what Mike Pompeo knew when.
What about his credibility? How do you see it?
Again, I want to be respectful of the Secretary of State, but I was puzzled and alarmed when he said the reporter had her facts wrong. With all due respect, he has his facts wrong on Ukraine and also on the Kurds.
David Rode, thanks so much.